distribution of films in Kenya. KTN's Noah Kipkemboi now joins us from KICC. Noah, rather than that, we are now crossing over live to listen in. Let's listen in.
So what are the trends that we have been looking at over the past short while that maybe all of us need to look at and say, I see a gap and I see money? Because one of the things I've also seen Isaac back here, we've always talked about how to generate money in this sector because we want a few billionaires from this industry. It's important. So may I begin by first looking at the first one? The first trend we have noticed is partnerships. A long time ago, we used to say, you know, that company, that one, MultiChoice, they are our enemies. And then when we say that, we don't do anything. What we do is we create a network of spies. Some of them call them friends. So what happens is I find out what MultiChoice is doing, and then I go find out what Zuku is doing, and then that determines for myself what then becomes my new strategy based on the information that I have gotten. But that no longer seems to be the case. Classic example, I'm sure many of you have gotten to watch Games of Thrones. True? So, if we think about Games of Thrones, Season 1 was produced by the producer, correct? Season 2, a broadcaster came on board and said, we love the show, and because we love the show, we are willing to produce it with you. And so they funded it. And the show became even bigger. Season 3, Season 4, they continued to work with the broadcaster. Season 5 and 6, another broadcaster came in. And now there were 2 broadcasters. NBC and ABC came together and they said, can we pitch together and do this thing together? Because the stars are now bigger. They're making more demands. We want to try being more flamboyant on the show. We want to expand on how the story is told. And then, now what began to happen, of course, is now we had 2 competitors working together. So what that tells me is this. We no longer can define our enemies. There are no more enemies. The person who actually determines who an enemy is yourself. But maybe the person you're considering to be an enemy is not really one, because they are having strategy meetings, they're having deeps review, they're having, there's so many meetings they're having, and those meetings address certain weaknesses within what they're doing. Can we be able to plug into what we consider our enemies or our competitors' landscape, competitors' challenges, and turn them into opportunities that both of us can be able to? And that is a global trend. So how about in Kenya? Are we looking at opportunities from people that we consider to be our competitors? Are we looking at them and saying, if we collaborate on 1, 2, 3, it saves us money, and then we can generate more money? So we no longer can continue to say, these are enemies or these are competitors. No, these are just other persons running around doing their business on a day-to-day basis. So maybe strategic partnerships is one trend that we really have to look at. The second one that I'm looking at is the advent of artificial intelligence and what it means. It can become a threat if we consider it to be a threat. Recently, I saw a new application that can be able to edit multi-camera edits or, footage in 30 seconds. A long time ago, that work was you had to hire an editor or maybe 2 editors and then pay them for several days. True? At high cost of maybe 25, 30,000, 40,000 shillings a day, but now it's being done in 30 seconds. That means if an editor is not necessarily very alive, what happens? They're out of a job. But artificial intelligence is also divided into many different things. It can be divided into virtual reality, augmented reality. How many people know the difference between the two? Let's see. What is virtual reality? What is augmented reality? Ikoshida. How do you differentiate the two? But yet we are in the business of making money from the trade. These are things we need to know. So basically, and the simplest way of putting it is, if you want to know what is augmented reality, it's really artificial intelligence used on, you don't need to wear something, a headset on your head. So virtual reality, you wear headsets. It's an artificial space. Augmented reality is different. One of the best companies here, and I ask all of you to actually visit them, is Genesis Design Factory. I've just seen their stand at the corner there. And they are into augmented reality. And this is an opportunity in itself, because what AI is now doing is enhancing experiences. True? It's enhancing experiences. And what new audiences want is an enhanced experience. It's called the consumer graduation process. What you liked yesterday is no longer what you liked yesterday. You want a slight thing put into it. And then even your searches have now become a little bit more robust in the kind of, your palette has developed a little bit more. And things like that. So what AI is doing is really improving that. As an example, I love Formula One and I love the rally. Now, if you watch rally, if you watch Formula One on, the digital platforms that are there, one of the things you'll notice you can be able to do using AI is you can go into the driver's seat and then zoom out and pan to the audiences, look around what's going on and go back into the vehicle again. This is an experience. It is enhanced shooting. So a long time ago, what we used to have was cameras all over the place. We shoot, it's finished, we go home. Yes, we've watched Formula One and Verstappen or Hamilton, depending on which spectra you lie. I am a very Hamilton person myself, okay? But we see what we can be able to do. So understanding how we can be able to improve the quality of production in the things that we're doing is critical, okay? And I think it's important that we begin to, even as content producers who are sitting in this space, broadcasters sitting in this space, regulators sitting in this space, to look at how we can be able to support this new trend, because it's not going away. And we do not want to be the guys who are left behind by the rest of the world, and then we're consistently running, trying to catch up with what the rest of the world is doing. So it is something that we have to look at. Let us begin with simple definitions. What is VR? What is AR? What is MR, which is mixed reality? What does this mean for you and this industry that we are in? Okay? I'm looking at now short videos. A long time ago, and one of the new trends I've noticed, and I've wasted a lot of money on this, so let's just say I have spent a lot of money on this, is short videos. Every time we talk about short videos, we think about, AVOD, YouTube short, YouTube shorts, and stuff like that. But that's now changing. Have you guys noticed about things such as Drama Box, where a series or an episode is 3 minutes long, and a season is maybe 20 episodes. And then you watch, so what they do now is they reel you in, they rope you in by showing you the first 3 episodes. And then from episode 4, you start paying $1, $2. Before you know it, we have victims here. You know yourselves. Before long, you've spent 2,000 shillings to just finish one series that is 30 minutes long. It's a new trend. And there are so many of this. This Pocket FM, there's Real FM, there's Momo FM. There are all these new platforms that are now looking at how to make drama series shorter. And that's because of the new challenge that we have, which is second screen, where I'm watching a series and I'm looking at my phone and I look up and I look down. This is a new trend. This is a new opportunity. So even for content producers, have you started thinking about how you can tell your stories in a much shorter time? So that your entire series is 30 minutes. Your whole series is 30 minutes long. But the way the story has been told, from the time we met to the time they get married, there's no more Mariana in 2,000 episodes. Just to get married to Alejandro. All that has been compressed into 30 minutes. Is it possible for us to start looking at those particular opportunities? How to tell those particular stories? And if one person is spending 2,000 shillings to watch it, how many people can you be able to reach? The other day, I noticed one of the things that, people are actually now